Commissioner Dziedzic, former council member who was on the council when NRP was founded.
Well, as one of the authors, the other being Tony Scallon, who was really the brains behind the idea. You got to give Tony credit because he came up with the idea, and then he and I pushed it through. We were co-authors when this was passed. There are 81 neighborhoods in Minneapolis, and last I checked, I think there are 68 groups. I could be mistaken. 68 groups that have offices, staff, computers, everything that goes along with making up the neighborhood groups. I think some of that needs to change. We are now installing a hub system, whether you know it or not, in the city of Minneapolis in our parks. We're doing some consolidation in our parks, and I think that as money becomes tighter, NRP is going to have to do some of that. I think that when we passed that, we envisioned it as, I forget what the number was. I thought it was 72% of the money was supposed to go to housing. Later it was lowered to 52%. But one of the reasons that this passed in the first place, there were arguments between downtown and the neighborhood. I don't have to tell you who won every one of those arguments. Downtown won, because they had the downtown council, they had the Chamber of Commerce, and whenever there was a meeting, city council or committee, they'd stand up, and there was nobody there from the neighborhood. And we thought, that's a shame. Let's empower the neighborhoods. And luckily, we sold bonds. What did we sell? So $55 million worth of bonds, and then we got sued. The city got sued by, where Sheik's is now, that building. The guy that owned that building sued us for a whole lot of reasons. And somebody told me, the money that they put aside on that, you're broke. So I asked Bob Doran, what's the status of that money? He said, do I have to tell you? I said, yeah, I'd like to know. We sold $55 million worth of bonds. Interest was 21%. The next time we looked at the money, there was $78 million there. It had grown that much just in the interest that bond money. There was no laws on arbitrage. We got to keep it all. So away we went with NRP. Unfortunately, and I believe it was 2001, that the legislature changed the way it taxed residents. They gave a break to commercial and industrial, and the NRP money went like that. So, when I talk about some of the changes that need to be made there, I think that just like we're doing with the hub, we're looking at our budget very closely. I think the NRP